Well, good evening. A very warm welcome to you this evening to episode 2, series 1, Loose Ladies in Lockdown. Now, this evening, sadly, the wonderful Mandy, as I said earlier, has got lazy situs, ladies and gentlemen, which means that she is scoffing her face with a pizza and drinking lots of Prosecco. So sadly, she cannot join us this evening. But tonight, we are joined by the wonderful Susanna D and Gary, our buddy in the study, as our co-host. How exciting. Good evening, Susanna and Gary.
Hello, lovely.
Hello.
How are you doing?
How are you?
Good, great, thank you. How are you?
I'm
Looking
good.
lovely as ever.
I'm very well indeed. Now, Susanna, I've been told we've got a great show ahead, haven't we, this evening? We have.
Absolutely.
So, did you want to explain a little bit about the charities, Susanna? Do you want to explain a bit about the charities, what we're doing and things like that?
We've been doing a lot of the Easter eggs kind of campaign, where we've been giving Easter eggs back to charities like myself. I did Rethink Mental Illness. I travelled over there on Friday, and it was just a case of dropping them off, and they were so privileged to have those Easter eggs because they said that nobody gives back to them. So that was a nice gesture to them of what the work that they do. And I know obviously Kat's done some Easter eggs campaigns as well. So yeah, absolutely.
So the idea of Loose Ladies in Lockdown, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't joined us last month, this is episode number 2 of episode 10. So we are raising money for 3 amazing charities. Rethink Mental Illness, as Susanna mentioned earlier. We are raising money for Cancer as a Drag, and we're also raising money for Great Ormond Street Hospital. Now, our Loose Ladies have been very busy the last couple of days, going around like busy little fairies, and we are going to be releasing some exciting projects that they have been involved in over the next couple of weeks. So please do keep in mind, keeping in touch with us all. Now, we have got 25 viewers. Let's double that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's get sharing. Let's get sharing to groups. Let's get liking. Let's get loving. Let's send it in Messenger. Let's annoy all your neighbours. Let's get this out there, because tonight we have not just got one giveaway. We've got 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tonight we have got 2 competitions. The first competition is going to be winning 2 tickets to the Dress in Drag Ball, which the wonderful Susanna and Gary have donated to Loose Ladies in Lockdown. So what we're going to do is everybody that shares it will be entered into the draw, and all you've got to comment throughout the show is win. So every time myself, Susanna, Rebecca or Kat say the word loose, you comment the word win. Onto the comments. Let's get it sharing. Let's get it loving. Let's keep that love flowing. Also, throughout the evening, we are going to be giving away a filled Loose Ladies in Lockdown goodie bag, which I'll show you a little bit later on in the show, which will be filled with lots of Easter treats. There is a little cream egg in there. There is also a bigger egg, and that will go to a member of our viewers this evening. Now, Susanna, I think it's time to bring on our first panelist. So this evening, we're going to be joined by myself, Susanna and Gary as our co-hosts, and then we're having Rebecca Cousins-Gray, and we'll also have the wonderful Kat Katisopa. So, Susanna, did you want to bring on our first panelist for this evening?
Rebecca, welcome to the Loose Ladies and the mental kind of way that we work.
Hiya.
Yeah.
Hi, darling. Oh, cracking evening.
Rebecca, tell me about yourself.
So, well, today I am here dressed very, very much like one of my alter egos, the wonderful, thoroughly modern Marilyn. And sadly, she has not been getting out very much, obviously, due to COVID. And she also has a lot of princess friends, superhero friends, and some very beloved children's characters. And you will find them all at Princess Academy, which is my company. And we like to go up and down the country, providing entertainment and fun and magic for everybody of all ages and any abilities. So that's me. And I'm here to grace you all with my presence and my opinions.
Well, that is brilliant, and we are so glad for you to join us. I mean, in Marilyn's style, our wonderful Rebecca was 1 second before we went live. So she just snuck right in. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to welcome our second panelist this evening, who goes by the name of Kat the Comedian. Good evening, Kat. Can you hear us?
I can hear you perfectly well. Swadika. Hello, everyone. I'm Kat the Comedian. Don't switch or change the channel. You're not on web station. It is okay to see a Thai woman on the screen with clothes on, and I am not here to do a ping pong show. Unlike Princess Academy, don't book me for children party. I don't want to teach your kid any ping pong trick. I also don't want to babysit your husband, and my fee doesn't include the happy ending.
Yeah, I've got a question for you.
Can I just say, from the mental health thing, you are amazing, giving positive vibes to everybody. You're literally amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. And you keep me the positive energy. Thank you very much.
Even Rebecca's
How
going,
much have you drunk? How much have you drunk, Kat?
I don't drink alcohol ever.
Are you sure?
100%. I got my cup of Hello Kitty coffee and always a lot of cookies.
Well, that is a question for later on in the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to be joined by myself, Susanna D. Our wonderful buddy in the study, Gary, is also our co-host. We've got the wonderful Rebecca, and we've also got Kat that drinks coffee, no alcohol, and she's as crazy as a dog. So we love them all. So, ladies and gentlemen, please keep sharing. Please keep sharing it on groups, on your profiles, on your false profiles, whatever. Let's get love flowing. I will just touch really quickly, and before we go on to the first discussion, you may have seen on our social media, sadly, one of our panelists, the wonderful Sandra Martin, has been receiving some awful cyber abuse. I just want to inform you all that us loose ladies stick with the wonderful Sandra. We back the wonderful Sandra, and we do not have any kind of abuse. We do not tolerate racial abuse, homophobic abuse, any further abuse. And if you are seen to be doing that, you will be removed and blocked from the page. So just want to let you all know that we are with Sandra. We are sending all our love to her. We've got a wonderful care package, which all our loose ladies have helped with. That's going out to Sandra tomorrow. So got that out of the way. So we're going to move on to topic number 1. So it's the first dates and also your last date. So I'm going to jump straight to Rebecca, actually. Rebecca, I've just seen a little cat run behind you, so I know you live in a zoo.
Yes, I
have you
do.
experienced any first dates where you've been stood up? Have you experienced any of those, my love?
I've never been stood up, which is always nice. But I think I've had a lot of the sadly the you spend a wonderful night with this gorgeous woman, and then the next day they ghost you, which that happens. But I've had one very embarrassing and scary time when I was a little bit younger. With a woman. I thought she was amazing, fabulous woman, and everyone always takes the mick out of me for this story. It's so bad. So I was 17 and I thought I knew everything, and I started dating this girl sort of online. I thought, oh my God, this is it. She's amazing. Let's meet. And then her brother picked me up from the train station and I stayed over hers. And then the following morning, I saw her mother walking into her bedroom with her school uniform.
what?
I was shook. I needed to get out. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. So I packed all my stuff up, grabbed all my stuff. I looked, I realized I'm in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's just fields everywhere, fields and bunnies. Lovely. Needed to get out. I thought, what am I going to do? So then I'm like knocking on the door to her brother. Hi, can you just take me home? Because I've really got to go home. And I didn't actually know what was going on. And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I jump in his car and he's like, oh no, my car's not starting. I was like, oh, for God's sake. And then her dad comes down and sees me as well. And he's going, what's going on? I'm like, I need to get out of here. And the dad's like, oh, okay, I'll take you to the train station. Oh, is this your friend? And I'm like, yeah, friend, gotta go. I get in the car. The dad takes me down to the train station. The train's delayed for 3 hours. I'm outside in the cold. I've only got a pair of little hot pants and a little crop top on. I've got one going past me. I feel like absolute rubbish. I finally get on the train, get all the way home, and then I miss my stop, have to get back on the train, go back the other way, and that's my story. So now I'm like, right, that's it. No more women. Trouble.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to run that over to Susanna, actually. Now, if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Susanna and Gary are husband and wife. They are a divine couple. No kissing, thank you very much. We're at 9 o'clock, thank you very much. Susanna, I want to ask you the question. Are we Brits too naive to fall in love with someone's personalities, or do we just go for looks? What's your thoughts on that one?
I think it's age. I think when you're older, you kind of go for personality, if I'm perfectly honest. There is a connection when you're younger. Mm-hmm. There's always that connection with you look at somebody and you go, yeah, that's the one. And yeah, I want to have with them. But however, when you grow older, you want personality as well as being attractive to somebody. But that kind of, it comes with age, I think, if I'm perfectly honest. Are you agreeing with me on that one?
Yeah, I agree.
So Gary, can I just jump to you actually? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've just joined us for episode 2, how we work is we will always have a panelist of loose ladies and myself, and we will then have the wonderful Gary, who is going to be our buddy in the study, and he is coming to you with a male perspective or a male thought process on many topics. So I'm going to pass that over, chuck it. I'm going to do a tennis serve to you, Gary. What's your thoughts on the Brits now as a male? What actually? I'm going to put you on the spot here. Sorry, Susanna, don't kill me. What actually? What attracted you to Susanna? What was the big attraction?
I like big personalities.
We were going to say something else then, and you can see Rebecca.
Yeah, I mean,
juggling her balls.
I love a big personality.
Absolutely, I love absolutely a big personality, and Susanna D's got a big personality. But I think I would agree with her actually, in as much as, you know, as you get older, you know, you realise that you are going to have conversations with that person, you know, over the breakfast table, unless, like Rebecca, you just bugger off as quickly as you possibly can in the next morning. But if you are going to have, you are going to be having conversations. But I would say, in all honesty, I think we've got to remember that we are human beings, we are creatures, and we do look, you know, whether it's a split second, whether we realise it or not, we are checking another person's aesthetics. We are looking, you know, how good looking they are. You know, for men looking at women, perhaps it could be a case of, like, you know, does she have nice hips? Does she have big boobs, small boobs, whatever it is that? But you might not be a conscious thought. It will be just something that is just there, because we all do that. You know, in human nature. It's yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're about to bring on our first guest of 2 this evening, the wonderful Mark. But before we do that, I just want to remind people of the competition terms this evening. So we've got 2 prizes to give away. Our first prize this evening is going to be our Loose Ladies competition, which is 2 tickets to the Dress in Drag Ball, which is in August in the wonderful Kent. And Susanna, can you remind everybody how they can win those tickets this evening? What do they have to write in the comments when we say a specific word? What do they have to do, Susanna?
I don't know.
You have to say win.
By the way, can I add something about the dating and relationship quickly?
Yes, I'm just going to finish on the competition and we'll come over to you quickly, Kat. So yes, that is right. Thank you, Gary, for reminding your wife. I saw a quick around the back of the head. For that one. You have to comment the word win when we mention the word. What is it, Gary?
Loose.
That's right. So every time we mention the word loose, you comment the word win. We've got a few people coming up. Karen Knight has commented win. We've had Lucianne comment win. We've had Jade comment win. We've had lots of other people. Clay mention win. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, every time we mention the word loose, you type in the word win. And within 24 hours, we'll pick a winner for 2 free tickets. And we'll also be giving away a goodie bag filled with Easter goodies and chocolates and treats. And that will come a bit later on this evening. Kat, let's bounce over to you quickly. What's your thoughts of first dates? Have you got any funny stories to tell us quickly before we bring
What
on?
I want to say is it's very difficult to date in lockdown. So I want to give a dating tip for everyone who's single and ready to mingle. I want to say I found a good app that you definitely can get a guy or can pull. No, I'm not talking about Grindr. I'm not talking about Tinder, but I'm talking about Uber pool. You can guarantee to pool and you can always get a good ride. So don't forget to try that, everyone. Uber pool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, can you see why we have the wonderful Kat on our show? Kat is full of life. You should have seen her in the tech rehearsal on Thursday. She was jumping with joy, and I said to her, I said, "Oh, you want a trampoline, Kat?" And she said, No, I'm just bouncing. I'm just bouncing around. I literally thought she was bouncing on a trampoline. She was that enthusiastic. Now, we are going to bring on our first guest. Rebecca, did you want to bring on our first guest this evening?
Oh, well, I suppose I will. Which one is it?
It's Mark. Mark's
oh, lovely. So we have, sorry, I know I'm terrible host. So we have got a next guest on, fabulous guy. He's the name of Mr. Mark Folan. He has been on Coronation Street. He has been on The Bill. Oh, there he is. Here he is. Hello, my lovely. Hello. We've got questions to give you as well today. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I see everybody's dressed up to the nines, and I'm just sat here in a jumper, just drinking, not what Kat's drinking, obviously, but something like that.
I don't know what you're talking about. So we've got loads of fantastic questions for you. I'm just going to jump right in there and just go for it. So I've got 2 questions I want to ask you. One, the main one, have you had any awkward dates, since obviously you've got a bit of a celebrity status? And the second one is whether or not you've had aftercare with ITV. So let's go for the first one. I want to know all the juicy gossip. Tell me about your date. What's happened? Let me know.
Awkward. Well, I haven't got anything as special as what you've just said. Wow. So I can't match that. I've just had dates where you've been sat there within a few minutes and going, oh no. You know, I forgot to do the phone me up, and I've got an emergency trick. So, and I'm just going to have to sit here. So I try to be a gentleman. I try to be nice to people and say, thank you very much. And it was nice. Thank you. I won't ghost it out. I'm not even sure what all that is. So to be honest, but.
Oh, is this where they don't ever call back?
Mark, you were too nice. You were too nice. Honestly, the dates I've been on, I've sat there. Susanna's nodding. I can see her nodding. She knows exactly what I'm going to say. And whether it's an Indian restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, don't know if you can tell, I love eating out, by the way. I don't like eating salad. And I tell you now, if it's a date I don't like, I will run out of that door quicker than running to McDonald's at 11:59. Trust me, wow. I am into that door so quick, I don't care. Honestly.
So will you just leave them there?
Well, no, but Mark, there's nothing worse than sat there and going, I really don't fancy you. You've got no personality. And then, even worse, I'm the one normally that gets footed with the bill. So at some venues, I get good money. Some venues, as I know Kat will agree, some venues don't pay great. So once you finish at that venue, you're like, oh, well, that's my £50. That's my £50 gig paid for. Oh, here we go, a side of mushrooms and a chunk what is it, triple cooked chips or whatever they are.
What
in these
I'm picking up is,
I'm gone, Mark. I'm gone.
When you have a date, is to always recce the place beforehand and recce the emergency exits, and then just do the old, will you excuse me for one moment, please? And then as they see you passing the front window.
Mark, it's even better if there's a taxi rank outside. So down where I live on the south coast in Bournemouth, every restaurant by a taxi rank. I'm like, the taxi, 555, 666, 777, get outside in 10 minutes. And I sprint so fast. I've not been on a date in a very long time, actually. So I must.
So they know you. They're like this, going, bad date again, yeah? Bad date, here we go, let's go.
Toilet window, that's
and I
what
walk in and they go, usual. And they go, do you want to sit by the door just so you can do a runner in 20 minutes time? I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'll sit right by the door. Sit right by the door. Rebecca, did you want to move on to your next question, my lovely, about the
I did.
ITV?
I would just like to add that I have jumped out of a bathroom window before when I've had a really bad date. You know, in true Marilyn style, I've been stuck in a window just like she was in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Wow.
But
I just haven't lived.
my next question is actually about ITV in general and how they've treated you as a performer, as an actor. I mean, obviously you have 3 roles in one show, which blows my mind. Whether or not you did get any aftercare, you did get any help, any dates off any of the people you were working with, you know?
That would be telling. But so I've done most of the soaps. I won't tell. But I've done most of the soaps, so ITV, BBC, Channel 4, Channel 5. But with ITV, I've done Emmerdale about 5 times as different characters, and I've done Corrie as 3 times as different characters. But I have to say, ITV, from the moment you walk in to the moment you leave, they look after you. They're like a family. They're like a little family that they really are. They really do look after you. The problem with being a jobbing actor is that you go in and you meet all these wonderful people that are the regulars, and you might do an episode or 2 or 3 if you're lucky, and then that's your time done. So you then have to go. So once you're done, there's not really much to do after that. But whilst you're in their company, whilst you're in their building, they are exceptional. Really good people to work for.
And do you know what? I had a great chat. Chris Thompson was on here last month. He's one of the landlords of the new Leatherstone pub in Manchester, and he was talking about his stint in Coronation Street. He was classed as an extra, but he had more than a passerby role. And actually, it worked out that he had great press because he was the guy that, I don't know if you remember, but there was an episode when Sean got mugged on that holiday park, and he actually had his face all over when they went on to Lorraine and they went on to This Morning. His face was all over these images and these, I think the Lady Sharon, all the showbiz news, and they had little clippets and snippets from the Take a Break magazine and stuff like that. And he actually had his pictures there. And he said, you know what? He got picked up in a Mercedes, driven to the set, given his own trailer, given his own food and drink, and he was really well looked after. And I actually asked
Sorry, I was going to say that when you're doing a big job, the bigger the job that you're doing, the more you looked after you are. So if you're doing a big film or something like that, honestly, it's unbelievable. And that's how you can understand how some people get lost in that world. But then you're brought back down to earth by auditioning for something else really small, later on. But it is when you're working, you do get looked after. I did Hollyoaks, and it was about male rape, and it was a really sort of serious episode. And afterwards, they put on the usual things of, if you've been affected by this, please call this number. So whilst being on set, I was a police officer. I had to have a really professional attitude, even off camera, because of the material. So I never mingled with the other people. I never giggled and laughed. I just took myself aside because my part was dealing with something horrific. So I thought, I have to be professional on and off camera, which it was good, actually. I really enjoyed it.
I guess like a real police officer, my brother's a police officer and he's got to be on it all the time, even if he's not working that day. If you're somebody of authority or you're somebody that's dealing with a very difficult subject, you can't just switch off and go down the pub with your mates. It's not like that, is it?
I've played so many police officers, Hollyoaks, Emmerdale, Corrie. I've done Scott and Bailey. I've done so many. So many, and then I was in the bill, and guess what? I was in the bill, a criminal.
When I was going to say ice cream vendor, Mark, I wasn't too sure which route we were going to go down. I was going to say, well, you said an ice cream. I didn't know. I'm going to bounce us over to Susanna because, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, Susanna is one of the 100 on All Together Now on BBC One, and she's been a judge for a music contest. And she has also been one of the singers for the wonderful Jane McDonald. So, Suzanne, I'm gonna bounce over to you. How were you supported through All Together Now? Did you have a good support there? If you can't comment, I understand. But how has it been? How have you found it in particular?
Why I was nodding with Mark is that the fact that they did have a legal team. They had a really good team of people. They would transport you to wherever fed and watered, etc. And, every day was structured. We were paid very good, even though it was BBC. But however, Mark, BBC.
No comment.
No comment. Yeah. but however, we were watered and fed, and also just the aftercare and everything, like the legal team. There was going, right, okay, media coverage needs to look like this today. So it was emails upon emails every single day saying what things you need to say, what things you can't say. And it was very much structured and a really, really good support.
Oh, brilliant. Now, before we say goodbye to you, Mark, I'm just going to bounce a question over to Kat. Now, Kat was on Big Brother in 2008. How did you find being on Big Brother, Kat? I mean, is it as bad as people say? You're in this house and you have no contact with the outside world. Is that actually true, Kat? So tell us. What is it like in the Big Brother house?
Thank you, Dixie, for question. I think Big Brother prepare me for the lockdown. Because it just feels not much different from being like a sex slave or in a TV prison. We be locked up with what do you say? Like a mental asylum when everyone's seeking attention and we have to watch our back, not for the doggy style, but more like a backstabbing. I was on Big Brother since when it's still in black and white with Davina and on Channel 4, and in those days they call it social experiment, but most people just call us a freak show.
Okay.
And the program finished. We finished. First day out of Big Brother, limousine, red carpet, and also Mayfair event.
So, Kat, an important question. Kat, would you go back to Big Brother?
No.
No.
No, definitely no. After I got the doorbell ringing at 2-3 in the morning, want me to scream cookie, want me to wish their grandmother a happy birthday at 3 in the morning. A group of kids everywhere I go just want to lick my face or force me to eat cookie. Left, right, and center. Sometimes when I go to Asda, security guard have to escort me out. Like when you watch celebrity in the film. But all I am doing is buy a pint of milk in Asda. In those days, about 4 or 5 no money.
I was about to say, Kat, don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe, Kat. I thought you were going to explode. You get higher and higher, and then you go and breathe, and back and forth, and back and forth. Well, Kat, that answers the question, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Do not ever go on Big Brother. Do not ever do it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has now come to say goodbye to Mark and thank Mark for coming on. I would love to catch up with you for a longer set, Mark. I think we need to touch base and maybe get you on nearer the end of the series and actually have you on as a solo guest and talk to you more about your roles, because I think it's very interesting. I think you and Susanna are going to have a lot of experiences that you've experienced the same. And I think Kat's going to have quite a few experiences from her TV work as well. So I think it'd be really good to actually touch base on that on a greater scale. Have you had fun, Mark?
I have, and I'd like, on a more serious note, I'd like to say thank you guys and well done to you all, because over the last year, with everything that's been going on, people's mental health has been affected massively for many, many different reasons. So well done to what with what you're doing, and I wish you all more success with it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on, Mark. Mark, before you go, have you got any exciting projects? Are you doing anything where people can watch you? Are you going to be on TV soon? Are you going to be at the local strip club? Are you going to be down the Weatherspoon? Tell us, Mark.
I might be at the local strip club, but they haven't booked me, so they don't know about it yet. So that might just be. I've got a few things. We'll see. Hopefully, you come this evening. I've got a few things that I've applied for, but we see it's all online, so we're just waiting so that goes through.
Well, thank you very much, Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join me in thanking Mark for coming on this evening on Sunday, the 28th of March. Mark, I will catch up with you a bit later on today or tomorrow, and we'll have a good old catch up. But thank you, Mark, once again for coming on. You have been an absolute treat, and we'll speak to you very soon. See you later, Mark.
All the best. Bye now.
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, what a treat we just had. I still think we can get in some of those gossip about who he's dating in Coronation Street. I wonder whether he's gone out for a drink with Eileen or gone out with Norris. I want to see
who should we bet on. Who should we bet on? I'll say Gail Platt. Why not?
Hi, Gail. I'm going to shove this over to Gary. Gary, I want to ask you a question, actually.
Okay.
What is your thoughts on the support and mental health in the workplace? I know we talk about it a lot on our show, but our show, is all about having fun and making somebody smile. And, we are raising money, but actually, times are hard at the moment for many people. People come on and they share it and they have a great time and actually they leave smiling. That's fantastic. But I know that there's some workplaces, Gary, where the line stops and they go into work and they get no support. How is that still able to work, Gary? How are they able to do that without having some sort of assistance?
Well, I'm going to, obviously I can't speak for every organisation out there, but I think things have changed and are changing. This last 12 months has shown that organisations that are care about their workforce and think about them, about their mental well-being, I think is improving. And you see that on lots of social media sites where employers are talking about mental health and initiatives to try and work with the teams and give them duvet days or lots of other different mechanisms to improve it. But responsible employers need to really engage with the staff, and that just needs to continue. It's a journey.
Absolutely, and I think it's difficult prior to lockdown, and then it gets 10 times as hard during lockdown, and we've not come out of a third lockdown yet, so we're still waiting on the third lockdown, post-lockdown. And actually, I think I heard on the radio, a lot of workplaces are now encouraging working from home. That's great, but where are your work colleagues? Where is the support of others? If they're going to be virtual, that's great, but actually, where's that people contact that some people need to function on a daily basis? What's your thoughts on that, Gary?
Yeah, I think that human interaction. One of the things that a lot of people have missed is the simplest things. It is that going over to a colleague and sitting and having a coffee, and that human interaction, not just looking at a computer screen all day, and giving someone a hug, or just getting into one room and being able to feed off their vibe, in the physical real world. I think employers are going to look at whether they change to completely working from home, or whether they're getting people back to the office space, or a bit of a hybrid. It's a bit in the middle. But again, I think this last 12 months has demonstrated that people can work from home, so it gives them options. Some people I'm talking to, some can't wait to get back to the office and have that human interaction. Others are saying, I'm happy. This is brilliant for me. So I think more and more companies will start to think about the personalities and start to work with them, and then being able to say, right, okay, what is your personality type? We're not going to force you to have a 2-hour commute or whatever it is. I think it will be hopefully a change for good.
Brilliant. Well, before we bring on our second and final guest, which is going to be the wonderful Nathan Rutland, Blackpool's favourite DJ, LGBTQIA+ advocate, and I've also been told he is an entertainment manager of 2 holiday parks. So we're going to have a good old chat with Nathan. I can't believe the time, ladies. It is now 8:42. We have been on here for 42 minutes. Oh my goodness. So don't forget, a quick competition recap. To win 2 complimentary tickets to the Dress and Drag Ball organised by the wonderful Mandy, one of our loose ladies and show co-creator, all you have to type in is the word win. When you hear us say the word, what word, Rebecca?
Loose.
You like the what?
Loose.
Why? Nearly fell for that one then. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first competition. The second one is our tote bag, which is filled with Easter goodies. It is printed by the wonderful Sharon Butcher from Ally Merchandise, filled with Easter treats. We've got eggs, we've got sherbet dip dabs, we've got some face masks, we've got a signed photo from Susanna in there, we've got a Durex, we've got always play safe. So that is also going to be given away to one viewer who has shared the most. So please keep sharing. We've got 20 minutes left. Let's double those viewers. Please keep sharing the video. And when we mention the word loose, type the word win. Now it's time to bring on our second and final guest this evening, who is the wonderful Nathan Rutland. He's ready backstage, sipping a cocktail. Hello, Nathan.
Oh yeah, cheers. Cheers.
How are you?
You're not too bad, thank you. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you, my darling. Thank you so much, first of all, for accepting the offer to come onto our show.
Anytime.
I've been watching a lot of your things from the first lockdown. Nathan's been busy keeping us all entertained, doing lots of DJing and lots of bits and pieces. So on behalf of all of my Dixie Divas, I'd like to say thank you, first of all, for doing that to keep all our spirits up. Not everybody's doing that at the moment, so thank you, Nathan. Now, I want to touch on a bit of a question to you, and I know you've had a few issues with Facebook closing down your live videos. Is that correct?
That is. It's been an absolute nightmare, but there are ways around these things that I've had to learn to adapt and things. So, yeah.
So how have you, I mean, I'm going to chuck this question out there. So this question is, Nathan, how did this affect you and your business by being shut down? Did you find it hard to keep in touch with your fans or following? And is that why you started the online streams? Talk to us a bit about that, Nathan.
Yeah, well, obviously, the same as yourself in the industry, just overnight, everything just went, remember the last night, I think it was the 20th of March last year, we're just told overnight, that's it, and took it really hard, which I think most of us did, didn't we? After a couple of weeks, people were saying, we're going to still see you doing live stuff. So that's when, I kind of took to it. First of all, it was quite easy doing Facebook Live because there weren't so many rules in place and so on. But the copyright started to hit in. When you were playing music, copyright issues were going on. So people still stayed in touch, made sure that I stayed in touch with people. And then we just worked out little things from not just DJing and playing music. It kind of changed the way around that it was more like a chat sort of thing, and it was more talking than music. And then the drinks flow in, people sending in their photos. So, people were having it as their nights out. They were sending photos and their friends were on as well. And so, yeah, just worked out plenty of talking on the mic. That falls it. And speeding the song up a tiny bit as well. That stops it being picked up.
Bless you. But have you enjoyed yourself doing things online, Nathan? Has that really made the time go faster for you?
Yeah, it normally just goes really, really quickly. I've had to get a normal job. I'm working at Morrison's at the moment. So, all week, literally look forward to it. Is it Saturday yet? Is it Saturday yet? And the good thing as well is that when I buy my bottles of wine to drink while doing me bits online, get staff discount as well. So,
sorry, Nathan, can we just confirm something? When you said your bits online, are you on about your DJing, love?
That's right. Yeah.
All right, just checking because so I just want to just confirm that.
Yeah. We've done a couple of virtual cabarets like for the holiday parks. Wow. We've done some bits like that and stuff.
Are you doing your ragadoos?
Not quite, no. we have cabaret singers and stuff, and
I'm just going to touch on some of the comments that we've got. I'm just going to go back up to the beginning. So obviously, good evening to Laura Payne. Good evening, Jessie Ann. Good evening, Sophie. Good evening, Facebook user. Good evening. Oh, Kat said good evening. Hello, Kat. Hello, Jade. Hello, Holly. Holly Walcott-Smith. Big hello to Karen Knight. Big hello to Z, who is one of our loose ladies, who's coming on very shortly. Good evening, Lee Hunter. We've got Lucian Jack, Pussycat Bangkok. Good evening to you. I'm just going to share this because I know you know this person, Kat. I love Kat. He's my favourite drag queen.
Oh, thank you. Love you too. By the way, can I add one thing very quickly? I know we all have a very difficult time at the moment. And some of us have a problem with mental health. And it is hard to admit and take a lot of courage to ask for help. And if you're one of them who need help, please don't be ashamed. Mental health is just like another problem, just like headache, just like a cold, just like a chlamydia. Just get help. So you can ask in one of our charity, Rethink My Samaritan. So don't forget, don't be embarrassed or ashamed. Just get help from one of the charity or your GP. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
And I know all our loose ladies are always happy to support. I will always let you know that we've got a wonderful team behind us at Hillingdon TV. I know they're watching and they're doing a lot in the background. So big hello to you all, James and Sophie. Big loves to you. Thank you so much for assisting us. We've got a great team, and I know that our page is quite busy with a lot of people sending messages and sharing and commenting and liking. We always have time for a chat. So, if you want to do it under, a profile, send us a message. If you feel that, please don't feel that it's an embarrassment. We are all here together. Anything you speak to us about will always be dealt with within confidence. As always, after every episode, about 9:30 p.m, we always put a little thank you out to everyone involved. We also put some key numbers out on our social media, but actually if you want to speak anonymously to somebody at Samaritans or Rethink Mental Health, give them a call. So we'll be putting some extra bits and pieces out at about 9:30 this evening. But before before we start wrapping up the show, because it's 10 to 9, everybody. Oh my goodness, it's going very quick. I'm going to move on to the next topic, and I'm going to chuck Nathan straight into the deep end as he's one of our guests. Topic 3 this evening is Botox, plastic surgery, and fillers. I wouldn't do that if I was you. It shows off all the lines, my lovely.
Don't worry, I get so many pricks on my face. I mean Botox.
I was going to say, go before 9 o'clock. Now, Nathan, I'm going to chuck a question to you. How young is too young for cosmetic surgery? What's your thoughts, Nathan?
Well, yeah, I do agree with, cosmetic surgery and stuff. I think once you're an adult and it's your age, you can make that decision. So,
so what you're now doing is, you are being too kind, Nathan. You are being too kind, and you're like me at times, sit on the fence. I'm going to whack it over to Rebecca because I know Rebecca's got a very strong thought process. I'm the same with you, Nathan, that you are at the right age. Whenever you feel like you're doing it, give it a go. But I know Rebecca has messaged me every day now going, I can't wait for this topic. I'm going to say something. So let me just say really quickly, Becky, sorry, darling. Don't forget, everything said on here is personal views. It's not views of loose ladies in lockdown, and it's not views of each other unless it's spoken by that person. So, Rebecca, over to you. What's your thoughts?
It's fine. Nobody else agrees with me, but it's all good. So here's my thoughts on this. For me, growing up, I was in the alternative scene, and I was, part of a lot of groups where body modification was a thing. So people would get stretched ears, people would get scarification, tattoos, piercings, and to me, any kind of plastic surgery, Botox, whatever, to me, that is still body modification. And I think that is part of the same thing. It's your body, it's your choice. Do what makes you happy. If you want to get some whiskers implanted and some metal horns sticking out your head, do it. Do what makes you happy. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we are teaching children that, yes, you can be who you want to be, but you've got to be safe doing it. At the moment, there's a lot of people in the body modification circuit who are doing these things illegally, and they're not going to doctors. They're going to, tattoo artists who have no qualifications in said changes. And it's very, very important to always research and go where you want to go. If I had the money, darling, believe me, I would be 100% silicone, baby. I would be loving it. But it costs money if you want good work. So I haven't really had much done. But, hold this space. Loose ladies may well take off. I may well be getting a decent paycheck, and in which case I'll be getting something done.
To be honest, Rebecca, you've got to be on time to get a pay rise. Moving on to
I was 1% on time.
Moving over to Susanna. You've been a bit quiet at the top tonight, and that's not like a Yorkshire lass like yourself. What's your thoughts on cosmetic surgery? How young is too young? And what is your thoughts on the cosmetic?
I think, like Rebecca, is like you accept who you are. Unless you've got parental kind of guidance to do, the people that are around you to support you doing whatever you need to do. Because we've got to think cosmetic surgery is not just about us women, it's men as well, it's transgender, it's the whole kit and caboodle. So you've got to have the right mental health around you to kind of go, right, why am I having this kind of cosmetic surgery? Is it because I don't feel comfortable in my own skin? Is it because I want to enhance something? What is that all about? So that basically, I would say, have support around you to be able to do what you need to do to have cosmetic surgery. And I think it would be, for me personally, it would be adult, it would be 18. So, because at that point, you've kind of established who you are a little bit, however, transgender might start earlier. So that transition can kind of work in between getting to 18, adult. But yeah.
And Kat, really quickly, because I'm just conscious of time, I'm just going to check this out to you. What are the implications of plastic surgery, and does it affect body confidence, having it or not having it? What's your thoughts, Kat?
Especially I have been cyberbullying when I was on Big Brother media, and people call me Miss Piggy, call me fake, fat, ugly. So plastic surgery, Botox does help in peace of mind and body confidence, as long as we still have media photoshopping of the girl who have a very slim figure, who have a lot of work done on their faces. I think we should be allowing people to do their work, because that helps with the body confidence.
Absolutely, and I think it's difficult. I understand where Nathan's coming from. I understand that where Rebecca comes from. I understand Susanna's point. Gary, I'm going to bounce over to you. Quick question: is there any legalities of plastic surgery, Botox, and lip fillers? Is there a specific age you have to be to have any cosmetic surgery? Should there be? What's your thoughts?
I mean, the UK law states that you can have plastic surgery from 16, but it will be with parental guidance and advice. No reputable, and it's interesting what Rebecca said earlier about some people performing these actions. No reputable plastic surgeon or surgeon will work on someone who is below the ages of 18 unless there is a specific health reason. You've got to remember that cosmetic surgery is performed on children, on babies, because of cleft lips and that type of surgery. I know people who've had children who've had quite prominent birthmarks removed at quite an early age. So that's plastic surgery, that's cosmetic surgery.
Of course.
But I think from a legal perspective, it's 16 years old with guidance, but 18. But I'm just going to draw your attention, actually. Gemma on the chat has just made a really good point and summarised it really well. You need to wait till your body has stopped growing, and you also have the mental maturity to deal with your choices. And I think that's a great way of putting it. I think, and James, again, men are subject to this too. A lot of men worrying about what they look like at gym. I have to say that quite often for guys, it's when you hear women talk about guys, that mental, that imagery we've got in our heads is interesting, because women sort of talk about, I like a guy who's got biceps, triceps, quads. He's got to have abs, and I want to see that washboard stomach. And it's kind of, guys are like, wow, I've got to spend, how long have I got to spend in the gym to get all of those? It's, some of us aren't blessed with this sort of physique, some of us have to work on it. But guys are subject to exactly the same sort of worries and concerns. But I think Gemma's point earlier: wait till your body's reached that sort of stop growing, and then have that mental maturity and that help around you
to know your body and know what you need to do.
Yeah,
absolutely. We'll, I would just like to say a big thank you once again to everybody for joining us this evening. We've had some great shares. I've just looked at the corner of my eye. We've hit quite a lot of people already, so thank you. Obviously, hit people virtually, not punch them. We have reached a lot of people. We are still going to open this competition until 12 p.m. tomorrow. So for people that watch it back, don't forget, every time you hear the word loose, you comment the word win, and every time you enter the word win, you'll be entered into the draw, and one winner will be picked out to win 2 tickets for Dress and Drag Ball in August. I know Rebecca's coming to that. We've got some of our other loose ladies coming to it. Kat hasn't got back to us yet, so Kat, public announcement, let me know. Love ya. And also, don't forget, every time you share the video, you'll be entered into the draw to win one of our wonderfully created Loose Ladies in Lockdown tote bags. Massive thank you to Sharon Butcher from Ally Merchandise. And that's filled this month, with Easter treats, delicious treats, and of course, as Rebecca always says, play safe, work safe. There's a little jewel and I trust you, one size does not fit all. So, thank you everybody for watching. Nathan, before we close down tonight's show, I would like to say once again a massive thank you for joining us this evening. I've kept it short and sweet. Apologies, we were running over.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
I'm going to say it again to make her feel bad because we're waiting for Bex to start and arrive. So we were running a bit late.
1 second, I was on time by 1 second.
You should have seen all our crazy messages. And
The Queen never arrives late. Everybody else is just early.
but of course, the jester like yourself will always arrive just about the 1 second before we go live, my love. So Nathan, how can we follow you? How can our viewers of Loose Ladies in Lockdown, the followers, our fans, our supporters, our family, our friends, how can we see you on the decks? What do we type into Facebook and on YouTube? Talk to us. Where can we find you, Nathan?
On Facebook, DJ Nathan R for my initial at the end. So I'm on that. The live feed's gone to that. Everything else I'm pretty not mastered Instagram yet or anything like that. So Facebook's the one, and on YouTube, DJ Nathan. It's streamed onto there as well.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you are very welcome. Thank you so much for coming on, like I said, Nathan. You've been amazing. I've been watching your stuff. I'm from the holiday park trade, so I know how frustrating it is when you can't be on that stage doing what we love doing the most.
Yeah.
So big thank you to you, Nathan. Like I said, if you are interested, do follow Nathan. He has got some great bits and pieces lined up in the future. Nathan, can you just remind people of your socials once again? Where can we find you?
Well, loads of different venues. Norwich, some of the LGBTQ plus venues in Norwich. And Blackpool once a month. The Flying Handbag in Blackpool every first Saturday of the month. So, yeah.
And a question, Nathan, do the handbags actually fly at each other, or is that just
No. You can only dance around them.
Oh, obviously. Very good, very good. So thank you so much, Nathan. Thank you once again for joining. Follow Nathan. Nathan's going to be going live next couple of days with his DJ bits and pieces. That's fantastic. So on behalf of us all, Nathan, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy your wine, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nathan. Oh, bless you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is now time to wrap up tonight's show. So big thank you to our resident panellists, the wonderful Rebecca, running late Cousins Gray. We've got the wonderful Cat Soper, and the wonderful Buddy in the Study, and this week's very quiet Yorkshire lass, the wonderful Miss Susanna.
I didn't get a word in edgeways anyway.
You can't get a word in edgeways, my love, with these three. You need to fight your way forward. But Susanna will be joining us for a few more times later on in the year. Next month, we have the wonderful Lewis Ellis, who was the Apprentice UK. He's coming on to talk about his marketing project, his marketing plans, and some little bit of gossip about The Apprentice. So thank you all for joining us. Don't forget, you can donate by simply following the link, which is pinned in the comments, which is www.hillingdontv.com/donate. And of course, all proceeds will go onto the automatic GoFundMe page. And at the end of the series in November, the total will be split equally between Great Ormond Street, Rethink Mental Health Illness, and Cancer is a Drag. Now, our wonderful Susanna, I won't say too much more, but the wonderful Susanna did a bit of community project work yesterday on the outreach team, and that'll be coming out on our socials very shortly. So keep an eye peeled, ready for that. So thank you, Rebecca. Have you got anything else to add before we go, Rebecca?
I just want to say, live your life, enjoy yourself, and love yourself. That's all. That's all. And next time I'm going to be on time.
You might better be, or we should be getting a P45. Thank you, Rebecca, for joining. Let's move on to the wonderful Kat. Thank you so much for joining us, Kat. We'll see you again very soon. In a couple of months' time. So we will see you.
Special.
Yes, we have got a Pride special coming up in July where we've got a range of special guests, and the show is going to be extended So we've got a legendary drag artist based up in Brighton. We've got a AFAB queen coming on, and we've got a couple of prides coming on to talk as well. And the wonderful Kat is waving the wonderful pride flag. So Kat, thank you so much once again for joining us. We'll catch up with you very soon, and love you lots. Thank you for joining us tonight, Kat.
Thank you.
And of course, oh, we've lost Susanna's face.
Hang on.
Hello, Pat. And big thank you to our wonderful buddy in the study, the wonderful Gary, and of course, the lovely, gorgeous Susanna D. Thank you both for joining us this evening. Mandy will be resuming her position of co-host next time, but the wonderful Susanna is going to be answering. I've got some questions ready for you for next time, Susanna, on the bottom of my sheet here. So you better be ready for next time.
Oh no.
Oh no, she's about to cry. But thank you.
I'm going to cry.
She's going to cry. I've been Dixie Normus Drag Artist. Thank you all for joining us on Loose Ladies in Lockdown. Keep sharing the live feed, and we'll see you on our next show, which is going to be on Sunday, the 27th of April, 2021 at 8 p.m. Be there or be square. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from us.
And it's goodbye from us.
Oh, brilliant. Take care, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.